Faith Alfred is an experienced trainer and coach dedicated to empowering individuals and organizations through transformative learning experiences. Faith holds a bachelor's degree in agricultural economics from the University of Ibadan. Completing her academic achievements, she has acquired certifications in Google Project Management and actively participated in programs such as the McKinsey Forward Learning Program, BMGA Fellows Program, and the Yali RLC Emerging Leaders Program. With close to 4 years of experience in project management, Faith has honed her skills as a certified P3 Express practitioner, demonstrating her expertise in effectively managing projects and teams. As the coach at TFA Hub, Faith helps individuals realize their full potential, guiding them from their current position to their desired destination. Our coaching services encompass personal development, transition into project management, and training professionals and organizations on how to manage projects seamlessly. Faith is also the owner of Temwo Clean, a thriving cleaning products business driven by the belief that everyone deserves access to safe and effective cleaning products. With over 3 years of experience, Faith has developed intricate business skills which she shares through our training programs. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, by 8 p.m., Faith Alfred will be speaking on the topic Finding a Suitable Career Path at Career Force. Be there. Timilehin Junaid is a first-class graduate of agricultural economics from the prestigious University of Ibadan. Completing his academic program, Timilehin has moved on to build his career as an investment research analyst. Having served in various leadership positions, Timilehin is passionate about coaching young minds on the subject of leadership. Tonight by 8 p.m., ladies and gentlemen, Timilehin will be speaking on the topic of finding a suitable career path at Career Force. Be there. And so we start in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Alright guys, so I introduced myself earlier, and today we are going to be talking about finding a suitable career path. How do I know where I belong? How do you know what you are doing is what you're supposed to be doing? Are you giving what you're supposed to be given? So we are going to be talking about that with some amazing people that I will be letting in now. Along the way, please feel free to write them in the comment section, and we will address it. We'll make out time to address, because that's what it's all about, addressing and answering questions. So I'm going to put up the music now and expect our guest to come on up soonest. So while we're waiting for our guests to join in, Mirrored Black Fox, that's Dennis. That's so Dennis. Mirrored Black Fox, I honor you already know I love you, Dennis. Thanks for being here. Oh, why? Our first guest is here, Timilehin Junaid. Awesome. But you guys are going to permit us. You guys are going to have to permit us. He won't be using his camera. He won't be using his video. So you're just going to have to listen to his enriching voice and listen to the wealth of knowledge is going to be pouring. It's about the face. So yes. All right. Hi, Junaid. I lost Junaid. Let me invite him again. Hi, Junaid. Hi, TFA. So if I haven't introduced you, it's probably because I am not sure who you are. I can see Marvelous. So if I see someone I know, I'm just going to shout your name. Hey, TFA in the building. How are you doing?
Hi.
Hello.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi. Good evening, Ma. How are you doing? I hope you had a great day.
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
I just want to say right now, yeah,
Okay.
that TFA knows that I'm one of our biggest fans. TFA knows I'm one of our biggest fans. See, when she brought out that name, that she said, no, she's not more just Faith Alfred. She is the Faith Alfred. I took it up. No, I took it up. I carried it on my head
I
like
agree.
exactly. I carried it on my head like I was there when when she received that name. So it's I'm honored. You know I support all you do. I love all you do. And I acknowledge you. You're a woman of strength, timber and caliber. I do acknowledge that. I do acknowledge that.
Thank you.
All right.
But
So while we wait, I don't know what's going on with Junaid, but I will not cast him. I refuse to cast him on live. So while we are waiting for him to join, TFA, could you please introduce yourself briefly, because I'm sure everyone now has listened to the citation. And if you haven't, I uploaded our citation earlier on. Please do listen. It's a whole 2 pages, guys. It's loaded. So do listen and please introduce yourself briefly.
okay, so hello everyone. My name is Faith Alfred. Thank you so much, Irimide, for having
Hello,
me. I'm excited.
TFA. Hello.
Yeah. So TFA stands for D Faith Alfred, and that's my personal brand. I'm a young lady who is very driven and very interested in helping other people become a better version of themselves. So yeah, I'm that person that can push you, push you, push you. So I hope that's a brief description of myself.
Awesome. That says a lot, really. She sometimes I say, okay, leave us, let us breathe. Let us breathe. Leave us, let us breathe. But like that's just on point. That's who she is. She's a pusher. She's one to recognize a diamond in the rough and to bring out that diamond out of the rough. That just sums up who she is, to be fair. So I do not know why Junaid is unable to join. Oh, Junaid is here. Hallelujah. Hi, Junaid. How are you doing?
Fine.
Okay. Do you want
Good
to
evening.
introduce yourself? Please introduce yourself to us. I don't know you.
Good evening, Faith. How are you?
Hi Timmy, excited to meet you here. I'm very well, thank you.
All right, guys. Um, my name is Timilehin Junaid, and I'm an investment research analyst. Work with an investment firm here in Lagos, and I'm excited to be here. Sorry about Zuckerberg's app. I really do not know how that works, but it's good to be here. It's good to be here. Thank you.
Okay. So I gave I mentioned something unique about TFA, and I'm going to mention something unique about Junaid as well. He is a born leader. I don't know. There are still a lot of debates on, are people born leaders? Do people grow into becoming leaders and all that? But however it's going to end, I stand with it. Some are born. And Timilehin Junaid is one. He is a born leader. He is sacrifice in person. He is sacrifice in person. And I'm not going to go into the old details, but we can get emotional. If you know me, you know I cry. So let's just let's just take it as we're taking it. Let's just go on as we're going. Okay, so you guys have introduced yourselves. So your career, TFA project manager, Junaid in investment research analyst. Yeah. So
At
we're going to
this point, I'm going to
talking.
charge you.
Charge me. Charge me.
Yes.
So investment research analyst, and we're just going to be talking so that people can learn and benefit from it. So I'll start with TFA. You are now a project manager, but the fun part is the three of us here studied the same course, right? We graduated studying the same course, agricultural economics. But now we are
three of us are all on different career paths, and that's exciting. That's interesting. So tell us, how did you find your career path in project management? How did you find it in project management? And then Junaid, you tell us afterwards how you got to find yours in investment management. All right.
Okay. Okay. I hope everyone can hear me very well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Well,
Yeah, I
I
can
like
hear you
talking about
too.
this a lot. Cool, thank you, Timmy. I like talking about this a lot because it gives me the opportunity to share my story, and I believe that one or two people might be inspired from it, right? So yes, I agree that I studied agricultural economics, but I'm doing project management. So for me, how it happened was I've always known that I'm going to be like this career woman, right? This career person and all of that. So, but I didn't know what career I was going to be. So because I already knew I was going to be like a career woman, I started searching what career path is it going to be for me. So yes, talking about agricultural economics, I actually searched for skills. What's the word now? Careers in agricultural economics. Financial analysis, data analysis. I tried them out actually. I tried them out, but sorry, that's not my route, right? I felt like, no, this is not my thing. So, because I was searching, because I was looking, I didn't stop, I didn't hold back. I kept on searching till I found something that I felt like was my element, and that's project management. So, to answer your question again, is just to say that I was looking for something I wanted to really do, something I was going to really enjoy, and that was how I came about project management. Does that answer the question?
Yes, that's awesome.
Thank
We're still coming back to you, TFA. Junaid, tell us how you found your path on investment management.
Oh, all right. I hope you guys can hear me. And thank you so
Yes, we
much, Faith,
can.
for that soft landing. All right. So for me, yeah, I'm pretty much going to say I stumbled into the career. Yeah. And it was more a reflective thing for me, much more than being investigative like that of Faith. I mean, there were usually pointers to the fact that quite enough I was interested in the financial market. I've always been. I mean, all through my life, I've been interested in how capital work around the world. I mean, who are the lenders, who are the borrowers, and how these things impact our lives. But it was much more reflective for me. I mean, it was final year and I was just stuck and I had to do a lot of reflection. And I remember then I would take long walks in the university campus then, usually at the end of the day, very, very long walks. And I was basically just reflecting on my journey so far. I mean, then as an undergraduate, that okay, what is going to look like a challenge for me, I mean, in the next phase of my life. And it just clicked all along that okay, I mean, it looks like finance is going to be very interesting. So it wasn't very, very much investigative for me, it was reflective actually. Yeah, so that was pretty much how I developed interest in the financial market and basically capital allocation. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it really. But we're going to go deeper. In that TFA, you mentioned that you were investigative, and Junaid, you mentioned you were reflective. That's like two different things, two worlds apart. And TFA, you're going to tell us in your investigation. You mentioned you also saw investment management, but you didn't want it. You saw this, you didn't want it. You saw that, you didn't want it. So, what exactly were the criteria you were looking for? What were the criteria you were looking for in your career journey?
Mm. Okay, so criteria, I would say I was looking at myself. I was looking at myself, right? One thing I did was I listed my strengths. I listed my, it says your competencies, things I was really good at. Okay, I enjoyed planning. I love organizing. I love talking. I love leading people, right? So I listed my skill set, things I was like really good at, and I had them somewhere. And I placed them side by side with every other career path I was coming across. So, I talked about financial analysis, checking it out. I thought, doesn't really gives me the opportunity to like express this me, my personality. I know those things are listed. So that was like, let me say, criteria. Those were the criteria I was using. And until I was able to like see a career path that totally matches it, and that's project management. Because in project management, you have to plan, you have to organize, you have to lead, and all of that. So it was just like a match, and it was like perfect for me. So if you're listening here, it's something I would also advise. You want to list your competencies and see, okay, which one matches my personality. So I hope that answered that you were reading.
Yes, that's awesome. Now, Junaid, in your reflectiveness, or while you were reflecting and all that, what were the things you were looking out for?
All right, I'm going to agree with Faith in the fact that, your personality is going to play a very large role in the kind of career path that you chart for yourself. But much more importantly, it might not necessarily taper down to your career path. It could necessarily just be the kind of management style and the way you would definitely just chart that career path for yourself. Because, like I told you initially, I had always been interested in financial market. That was one. And then secondly, I grew up being a contrarian, right? Contrarian in the sense that I didn't just like the idea of following the crowd, yeah. So even if it was the right thing to do, I mean, the sheer fact that I have a whole lot of people already doing it, it just tickles me off, right? So I wanted to get into a career where I could own my ideas, and I could literally flesh them out. And that's one thing the financial market is going to offer you. If you get to research.
Yeah,
Yes, we
yeah,
can
you denied.
now.
Oh, okay. So you get to research into companies, and two people can have different perspective, usually very reflective of their personality, if you ask me anyways. So for me, one, I wanted a career path where I could take ownership, just like Faith. I could take ownership, and two, I could measure my performance, I could measure my growth. And easily, when you come into the financial market space, easily, your calls, the kind of companies or ideas you are long or short on, will easily just tell anybody who cares to know that, okay, this is what your thought process looks like and everything. And also for the money, yeah,
I thought no one was going to mention that. You liars.
for real, that money happens to be a very huge part of it, right? Because you are going to realize that money affects us in no small way. Yeah, it affects us in no small way. Maybe further down into the conversation, I will share my thought process on how we see capital allocation where I work currently, and even myself as an individual. And then you are going to further appreciate that maybe the Bible was not exaggerating when he said that money truly answers all things. Yeah. So that's pretty much for me.
All right. Thank you very much, Junaid. That's awesome. Thank you for mentioning money. Thank you for mentioning money. We are not trying to run an NGO here. And awesome. They brought our lights, guys. So,
Okay, I'm not going to cast you. It's live. Okay, it's fine.
all right. So, Junaid, you mentioned something, and I want you to continue in that line. So, for some people who don't know what goes on in investment management, can you tell us what goes on? These are new things. I think project management and investment management, right? They are both new. They're not new, but people's, how do I put it? Permit me to bring the scripture into it. Their eyes have not been enlightened towards it. There was a time, yeah, that just very recently, actually, my mom, someone mentioned to my mom that a child got project management in the university as a course to study. and they said they didn't want. And right there, I was turning. I was like, if TFA should hear this, you are in soup. If TFA should hear this, you are in soup because you don't know the wealth. I mean, before it didn't used to be a cause, people didn't know about it. But now, like, people are fighting for it. People, even in different career paths, they are fighting for it. They are adding it to their skill sets, right? And then someone gets it on a platter of gold and says, our daughter should not study. I was like, hey. So you guys are going to tell us what SFH, you guys are going to tell us what your careers are all about. So I'll start with Junaid. What goes on in the field of investment management? Maybe you would interest someone.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you for that. Really. So, what goes on in investment management world? And I'm trying to use a word, and I'm just blank. Okay, pretty much easy. Pretty much easy. It's just a nexus between ideas and capital, right? One thing you're going to realize is that I remember that when we're in school, we're taught the two-sector economy, how that we're told that there is one part the household, one part the firm, right? And pretty much the household we usually would supply that labor, and then the firm who were producing the goods and services needed it to, I mean, needed that labor to get things done. That was a pretty much simple model for running the economy, and was, agriculture based. Even if you are not an agri student, it's fine. It's fine. But one thing you're going to realize in that model was that there was a whole lot of inefficiencies, right? And there was a need to inject capital from different places, right? And now we're saying that what we basically do in investment management is we believe, intrinsically, we believe that there are people who've got ideas in terms of organizations, like Faith rightly said, project management. It's possible you have a client, for example, who just feels that, oh, housing problem in Lagos is just terrible. It's just very terrible. And you get speaking to Faith and you're like, is there anything we can do to further democratize this housing economy in Lagos State? And Faith is doing the whole planning. Oh yeah, we could map out this, we could map up that and everything. But it all comes down to something, the cash, right? And that is where we come in, right? We look at your projects and we're saying that what kind of capital match this project? It's not just any kind of money. For example, it's possible that you have two people, one has 100 million, the other person has 100 million. But for this guy, he's keeping the 100 million because he wants to japa by January next year. For this other person, the 100 million is his own retirement plan. Are we together? So,
Yeah.
immediately suggests to you that the capital, even though nominally they are both 100 million, they are not the same. Whatever this guy that is trying to japa is going to invest in, his investment horizon is already next year. What he doesn't care what you want to use the money for. The moment he just say, Oga, I need my 100 million, they've approved my visa. He doesn't want to hear we are solving economic problems in Lagos. Just provide my money. And then for the person who, it's a retirement plan, that person is pretty much able to pass out the funds, right? So what investment managers do is, one, we go to look out for people who have the capital, people who have the big or deep pocket, right? And then we look for people who've got ideas to further improve the economic efficiencies in our society, and we try to match them. That's pretty much it, right? And you're matching it in a way that you are going to create a win-win situation. Win-win situation in the sense that the guy who's got the idea like of democratizing housing economy in Lagos, you're able to achieve that, provide affordable homes to a lot of people who otherwise would not have been able to achieve it. But don't forget, Ire mentioned something that was critical. This is not an NGO. So the guy who has extended the facility to you also expects some reasonable, commercially viable returns on that investment, right? So we're able to say, okay, that is what we do. We connect that idea to that capital. so that the guy who has a capital is able to preserve and grow his wealth, and the guy who's got the idea can say, oh yes, it's beautiful to dream again. So that's pretty much what we do. We just connect. We are connectors. If I really do not want to go into all the technical details of how do we now look at viable projects, how do we look at the cost of capital, cost of funding, all of those gibberish, they are basically industry jargons. But to the very barest minimum, when you hear investment management, they are connectors. They deploy capital. That is all they do. They're able to take this capital and match it to the right idea. That's basically what we do. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Junaid. Thank you. Hello, TFA, over to you. What do we do in the field of project management?
Okay, before I go ahead say that, I want to say thank you, Junaid, for saying that. I also learned something, so I was paying attention. Thank you. Okay, so for project
Welcome.
management, yeah, project management is pretty much just more of planning, organizing, and putting things in order. So a project can be defined as anything that has a start date, an end date, that has a budget. It could be just the way Timmy was trying to make it really layman understanding, right? You want to plan your mom's birthday party, you have something to do, you have a timeline, oh, there's a budget for it and all of that. A lot of things have to be done before you have the outcome. That can be categorized as project. So what so many people don't know is that every one of you, one way or the other, have managed the project. That's the thing. No matter how small the project is, right? So project management is more of planning, organizing, scheduling, making sure things are in order. And if you want to talk about who a project manager is that person that gets things done. A project manager is that person that plans, ensures everything goes right. If you're working with a team, a project manager is the one to ensure that your team are doing what they are supposed to do. You understand? So that's like pretty much project management. Just the way July said, not to go into like really deep details. This is just like how I can explain it in simple terms, and I hope like that helps.
Yeah, and to be very honest, Ire, please, can I chip in something there?
Yes, please.
Oh, to be very honest, what Faith has said is amazingly very true. The fact that as a professional, she has gone the extra mile to make it very simple. She was saying something about you could plan your mom's birthday. Please don't try it. It's I wouldn't say more than that, anyways. But really, to now bring it further, I said something about projects. There's something about the whole idea of project management. For example, nobody is going to take it seriously and deploy their capital your way if you don't get a professional to do that for you. Because we are not just interested in your idea. How exactly is this idea going to come to fruition, right? And a large part of that is processes, people, and systems, right? So the project did about network analysis. So they are able to map it out for you and say, oh, pretty much this is CTA, what is going to take to complete it. And trust me, nobody is going to. In fact, I'm just going to say this off the record. There are actually organizations that projects before you start looking for capital to deploy, and the minimum that they charge per project, anyway, is dependent on the size of the project, but they've got a minimum cap. The last I was aware of was 35 million. That's the least for them to even sit down to say, look, what is this idea that is even disturbing you, that is not allowing you to sleep at night, before they can even help you to conceptualize it on paper or whatever. And that is what professionals, that is what capital allocators want to see. I don't just want to see that I can be what I want to be, or inspire to perspire to. I need a professional like Faith to come into the picture to tell me that, oh, look, so that you wouldn't be telling me a project that usually would take maybe 6 months, but because you want to get the capital, you're telling me 3 months. But if I have somebody like Faith is able to say, no, the best we can do is maybe 5 months, 15 days, but that 3 months is the Lulu. Yeah, pretty much solid career path if you ask me. Yeah, thank you, Faith.
Thank you very much, Junaid. Thank
Thank you
you very
for
much.
that.
Both of you are buttering yourself up on my channel. Let's let's be guided here. All right, so now we're going to talk about how to access opportunities in our various fields. How to access opportunities in our various fields. You can make it general, you can make it specific to your own field, right? And you know, yes, basically, what can we put in place to access these opportunities? Because we know that it is not only about choosing career path. Now, there are some people who have chosen project management but have not gotten any project to work with. There are I see TFA going for events. I see TFA networking. I see TFA doing a whole lot of things, and she gets the reward for it. But there are people as well who would journey on the same line and will not get that much results. So how do we access opportunities in our various career paths, generic or specific? And what are the things to put in place in order to access this opportunity? Thank you very much. TFA, do you want to go first?
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, thank you so much. So just like you said you see me go out for events, networking and all that. Actually, that's the way. Let's say one way, right? One thing I would say is make sure you're putting yourself out there. You can be very good. Imagine there's a very beautiful lady, right? Maybe you're every day now, very pretty, and
I
when she is
agree,
out, there's
I
no
agree,
light.
I agree, I
Thank
agree.
you. Thank
So
you.
let's assume that a very pretty lady like Iremide is in a room and everywhere turns black, dark. I mean, no light.
I'm going
If
to put
a
on the
very
torchlights.
if a very big guy comes into the room, he's not going to see her. He might just hear her voice, but he would not see the beautiful face. And
Mm.
that is so. What am I trying to say? If you're really good, you say, "Oh, yeah, project manager," or you can manage projects. If people don't know you, if people don't see what you can do, then I'm sorry. You know, when people say things like I don't know, I'm careful, I'm trying to choose my words correctly. When people say, oh, I don't like to put myself out there, I wonder how you move, I wonder how you do things, right? Because people that I know that like do great stuff, they are always putting themselves out there. And one way, let me no so that it doesn't look like I'm not giving you samples. One way is LinkedIn. You can make good use of LinkedIn, right? So you're just starting out, you're taking out courses, and that's actually how I even started. When I started taking out courses, project management courses, I remember my very first project management course, I posted it on LinkedIn. This next one, I posted it on LinkedIn, right? So, people is saying that people are saying that, okay, this person is doing something on project management. Oh, this person is learning on project management. Don't be shy to show your journey. Don't be shy to show your process. Don't say until I'm an expert, before you put yourself out there. Somebody told me something. A senior colleague of mine told me something I'm very grateful for till now. He said something. He posted something on his status. He said, if you are learning a skill, don't say. I know some people say upcoming, right? But just say that thing as yourself. What am I trying to say? If you are learning management, for instance, call yourself a project manager. You are the one that know that you are onboarding or whatever, or boarding or whatever, but call yourself that. And that was actually what helped me. So when I started and when I saw that it says the status, okay, I'm a project manager, like that, like that, like that. Of course, I was doing my part, I was playing my part, taking courses and doing the necessary things, right? But I was also putting myself out there, showing that, okay, I'm good at what I do. And it's not it's not for play, it's not fabu, right? It's true, right? That what I do, that, oh, this I get testimonials, I put it out there. So if you want to get access to opportunities, you really just have to put yourself out there. So to just wrap it up, talking about people too and networking, okay, I'll say this. I wanted to say all the jobs, it might not be the same for you. So, right? Everybody's job is different. But all the jobs I've gotten so far, since like my 300 level till now, to my current job, I got them through referrals. Through recommendations. I didn't get them by applying and say, oh, I want to get, I'm a project, I want, like, of course, I've applied for roles, I'm still applying, right? But I didn't get them through applications. I got them through somebody saying, hey, Faith can do this. Give her this job. Oh, Faith, I have a project. Do this. I know you can do this because I've seen you do this. Or Faith, there's this opportunity. Take it and all of that. So if I'd been that beautiful lady in a very dark room, when those opportunities are flying, to just be flying over my head, it won't come to me, right? So, but because of how well I've put myself out there is no how, even the Remedy or Junaid, if they see any project management opportunity, I'm very sure they will first of all send it to me and say, apply, are you interested or something? So you need to be known for something. You want to show that you are putting yourself out there. If it is your maybe virtual assistance, content writing role or whatever, ensure that you are putting yourself out there to be known for what you want to do or what you want to be known for. So I hope this answers that, Remine.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Junai, do you have anything to add to that?
Um, Pretty much still the same thought process, really. Thank you so much, Faith. I mean, she had mentioned earlier that one of the things that stood out for me from what she said was that recommendation thing. And I'd even stated it here on my screen that you have to learn to leverage relationships. There is no other way, right? You have to learn to leverage relationships. So, if I'm going to give a little bit of backstory, right, into how I got into the space, right? Now, when I told myself that, okay, I'm interested in finance and all of those things, I had to ask myself, who are the guys that pretty much doing what I wanted to do, right? And I went on LinkedIn, like Faith rightly said. I looked up some guys and I found that there are some guys that finished from agricultural economics like we did, and then I mean they're pretty much involved in this space. So I sent them a DM. Why not? I mean, and when I sent him a DM, I told him that, oh, I'm looking forward to all of this and everything. And one thing is that, you see, the way relationship works is that sometimes they don't have a job for you, but they could always recommend you, or better still, to give you a broader look, right? Okay, let me put context to that so that it makes sense. So I messaged him earlier and we had been talking and everything. So a role came in and I was meant to apply for that role and everything. And I just texted him and said, look, this thing doesn't really fit into what I'm looking forward to and everything. I just typed the whole thing. And he read it. After a while, he called me. He said, you said you're interested in finance. Yeah, this doesn't pretty much align to what you're getting into, but this is a step in the right direction. So why not push for it? So at that point, in fact, at that point, they had stated that, oh, there were some requirements they needed, that, oh, you must have done this and that for you to be able to get this particular role, which I didn't have. So I told him that, I don't think I'll be able to do all of this and everything. He said, why not? Just give it a try. Okay, then I did the whole thing. I went there, and when I got there, honestly, the HR was very honest with me. She said, you know what? You're already one leg out because you really do not match up to the role. I mean, the requirement of the role in terms of certifications and years of experience and things like that. And I said, oh, okay. But we wrote the test, and they said after the test, we're going to have interviews and everything. We did the test, and pretty much, yeah, when the result came out, in fact, the HR had to be like, bro, how? Because I learned that in the history of that company, nobody had gotten a result as high as that. And I sat back, yeah, I sat back, and for the life of it, I was going to shave that opportunity away because I was probably doubting myself. So I needed that extra person who happened to be somebody in the industry who I respect so much, to do that pushing, to say, why not bet on yourself? So that's many ways that relationship can come in for you. And very honestly, when I was there, after like 3 or 4 months of being there, when I was going to move into another firm, it wasn't like I saw any application. I was speaking to a friend and everything. The guy said, bro, and he just said, I'm going to talk to somebody about you. You need to be out of this place in seconds. And I said, okay. And then he spoke to the person and we got on a call. And the person was like, oh, wow. Please, can you come and resume for me now, now, now? I said, oh, no. You still. And really, that leveraging relationship, it's on the backdrop of the fact that you've done your preparation, like Faith rightly mentioned, those courses and everything. Because trust me, when you speak or when you talk about a subject matter, if you're truly an expert in it, it will be obvious. You wouldn't have to do so many shalai. Do you understand? So pretty much preparation, leverage relationship, always keep that door open. They might not necessarily have a job for you. And really, for the life of it, when you message people on LinkedIn, not every one of them you should be asking for a job. You should just ask them to play it forward, if you really ask me. And then also the last part, Faith mentioned it too, which is very, very crucial. Apply. In fact, I think I had it like 25 exclamation marks here already. You just have to apply as hard as possible. Yeah, that's one of situations where you're able to get the jobs through referral, but you have to apply. I remember when we finished from school, I actually created about 100 investment firms in Nigeria, and I sent my CV to all of them. All sent my CV to all of them. And when I sent my CV to all of them, let me give you the records. Only three responded. One told me that um, they don't have a space. One told me that one invited me for a test which I flunked, right? And then the third one, I can't even remember what happened to that one. Oh, it was not directly related to what I wanted. I mean, the role they wanted to put me in, so I didn't consider. But you see, there is this thing about putting in the work. Nature just has a way of pushing the energy around you when he knows that, yeah, you truly want this thing. Okay, so, and like one of my friends would rightly say, you need just one yes. I mean, if I'm talking to anybody today and I'm telling the person that, oh, I pretty much have applied to a couple of hundreds of companies, you wouldn't see it, right? If I don't tell you that, yeah, I sent emails to over 70 or 80 companies, you can't look at it and say, why does your CV look so battered like this, right? But you have to put in that work to apply and apply. The fact that you're applying and facing rejections, sometimes it's not a reflection of your skill level. It could also be a reflection of the overall macroeconomic indicators. I mean, the job, the kind of industry, right? So that's pretty much its preparation, leverage relationships, and then apply as much as possible. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much, Junaid. Thank you very much, CFA. We are rounding up. Um, what would you say? How susceptible would you say our career choices, our career path is to change? Like, do you look at yourself now and say, project management, maybe say it doesn't work out in the next 5 years, I'm going to do something else. How susceptible is our career choices, our career path to change?
Okay, thank you for asking that. Well, right now, let me start with this. Right now I have people reach out to me and say, when I say I'm a project manager, I have people reach out to me and say, hey, I even want to transition to project management. I want to transition to project management. And I'm like, okay, it's good. That one, it's good news for me though. Right? But I'm trying to say that I see a lot of people want to transition. So yeah, it's very possible for people to transition, but people transition for different reasons. Actually, different reasons. Some people transition because their former role is becoming boring or it's boring. Some people transition because they want something more challenging and they're tired of repeating the same thing. Some people transition because maybe when they found the first role, they found it by accident or they just did it because of the money and now they want to do something they're really passionate about. So people really transition for different reasons. And I think for that or based on that, I would say it is possible to transition, in your careers. So you're saying for me, is it possible? Yeah, of course. As things evolves, I know that opportunities are bound, right? So let's say there's an opportunity for me to be like the managing director of Google in Nigeria or
Oshie, please just give us more.
right, like after
All
the
I'm
boss, like
asking
CEO of the
for
next,
is data. Finish.
right? So if it is not a project management role. It's not. It doesn't have to. It doesn't require me to be a project manager. Maybe at Google, but maybe a managing director. I mean, why not? I'll definitely go for it. So people transition for different reasons, right? But again, you want to maybe transition to something similar. Of course, me, if I even want to do anything else, it will be something around management. And I just anything management. Just leave me. Let me be leading. Let me be directing. Let me take the team to where it's supposed to be. Right? Senior roles. That's like where I find myself. So yeah, it's very possible for people to transition. But if you're listening to me right now, ensure that you're transitioning for this, for good reasons. Have good reasons to transition, so that you don't transition and you're now like hanging on the air. I hope that answers. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Still on that, yeah. Recently, I just uploaded the video on my channel and I put the full gist there. But recently, I had an encounter with someone who was, maybe he was so angry with Nigeria. That's the bottom point. Yeah? And then he just kept talking in the cab, how the nation is bad and how that there is no job. And then he went on further to say that the jobs he's seeing are jobs on the 50K radar, the 40K radar, that how can he do that type of thing? What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Do we I don't know if you get that question. If you get like you're not seeing what you truly desire, but other things are coming around. So what do you think about that? Do you take it? And why should you take it?
So if I get you correctly, it's more like maybe your field, right? Let's say your field is maybe a particular career path, but the what's the word now? Like I said, the money they're offering you in that career path is not something you want. Should you take it because that's the career path you want to take? Is that the question?
So it's not directly linked to any career path. These are just people who will just take any jobs really.
Okay.
But he is not taking what is coming because he feels he deserves more. Now, in not taking the jobs he has been seeing, he has entered into a big phase of frustration, whereby this whole scenario happened in a cab. And I was wearing my khaki. I narrated this story on my YouTube. I will not give you the footage so that you subscribe to my channel. Go and watch it on my channel. But it was a big deal. This man won't keep quiet. And I'm like, hey God.
Okay.
I don't want to say what I have in my head. So let's listen to you. Let's listen to you, TFA.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool. I get what you're saying. I mean, a few days ago, I think I heard somebody rant like that. People rant like that every time. So it's not the first time. It's just that maybe that was too close to you and it really entered you. Right. So the thing
was close.
Let me start from this part. People say there are no jobs in Nigeria. That's not true. Hey, that's not true.
Go on.
People say there are no jobs in Nigeria.
Tables are meant to be broken. Tables are meant to be broken. So go on.
So that's one. So people say there are jobs in Nigeria. Some people believe there are jobs in Nigeria, but the jobs in Nigeria are not good enough. They are not paying enough, and that's why they just go to Jakarta because anything in Nigeria is not cool. I'm sorry, that's not true as well. See, my own belief or my own philosophy, or what I believe to be true, and I know is true, is that the things you want, those higher pay and all of that, they are there. But the question is, do you qualify to get that? That's it. You are already bringing me into my element. Oh, scatter because I don't like when people try to pass responsibilities to other people. Oh, let's even go back a bit. You would say, oh, job will say you need 5 years experience, 3 years experience, but I'm a fresh graduate. Let they expect me to see that. You're now blaming the companies and saying, why would they say, they're the owner of the work. If they want 5 years experience, please give it to them. Right? So you should not pass responsibilities. What you should do is you should take it upon yourself. Oh, these guys want 5 years experience. How can I get 5 years experience to give them? And sometimes, just like I think Junaid mentioned the other time, they might say 5 years experience, but if you're bold enough or audacious enough to shoot, most times you will get it if you really know. I mean, see the scenario Junaid stated, right? It's not the first time I've had something like that where there were a list of criteria for me. This was not a job, right? It was a fellows program. the criteria were like really high, and I honestly did not qualify for those criteria, right? But I convinced myself that I qualified, and I was called for the interview, and I did amazingly well. That the interviewer had to say, interviewer will say, they will say, I will get back to you. This one said, if you're Ojabo, he said, we will definitely get back to you. No, I'm sorry, we'll call you, we'll get back. I knew that, I've entered this one, right? And it was like 3 months into the program when they eventually now found out that I didn't meet the criteria. Like, we had some like one-on-one section. They now found out my real profile and knew that maybe I was not a graduate then, and maybe I didn't have some years of experience and all of that. But there was nothing they could do. They knew I was stopping it, I was passing the test and all that. They could not remove me. Bro, I graduated. So what am I trying to say? Rather than pass responsibility like that guy you saw in the car, right? Those jobs are out there. You need to be that person for that job. I recently broke into a circle based on the job I'm currently working. I broke into a circle of people, and it has really been expanding my mind. And every day, not every day, right? I just see job opportunity, just keep flying. Again, that talks about your network. Who are the people in your circle? All the people in your circle, all the jobs available to them are like those kind of like jobs you don't want. You need to learn to break into bigger circle. When I mean bigger circle, I mean circle of bigger people, right? So to continue what I was saying, I broke into a circle and opportunity just fine. I'm like, woo, are you saying this? I said somebody's earning 1 billion naira per year, and I'm like, okay, right? So sometimes if you don't expand your circle or work on quality relationships or work on quality communities, right? You don't necessarily have to have like a personal relationship with like everybody, but you are in a community, a bigger community. If you are in a community of your how do I put that? Your caliber level, same level. I'm sorry, you might not like move the way you want to move. Try and go into circles, get into communities of bigger people. I'm sure that your case will not be like the case of that young man that is saying he's too big for that job. But no, there are jobs. You just need to be well positioned, have the right information, have the right people, and be good at what you do. Honestly, you get to a point. Let me round up with this every day. You get to a point where it is the job that will be looking for you. I don't know if you get that. You can build yourself to a point that companies will be the one looking for you. I'm not even talking something I'm not sure, right? I know someone I still spoke with him like yesterday, sent me an opportunity, McKinsey, to apply for. He said how that when he graduated from the university, he was looking for no job. But in his seeking for job for like 4 years, he was investing in himself. He was investing in it. After 4 years, companies were queuing. I'm not talking about maybe just international companies were queuing to say, hello, let's say hello Faith. Now let's say person's name is Faith. Say, hello Faith, we want to have you work for us. It's like, oh, I'm currently working with so. They said, don't worry, we'll wait. Do you hear that? Companies, international companies says, we will wait. Like maybe when you are done with, we are queuing to employ. That's crazy. So what am I trying to say? Add value to yourself so much more that you are the one companies and organizations are looking for. Please, that's where me I'm going. I'm not doing, there's no job. I'm the sugar. They are looking for me. That's what I want to do. And that's what I advise you. That's what I advise if you're listening to me. So please add so much value to yourself. You will become sought after. Thank you.
Awesome. I love it. I mean, that's true. I mean, to whoever, it's only people that want to lie to themselves that would say they don't know that investing in yourself is paramount. Only people who want to, they see that it's the truth, but they choose to lie to themselves. There's nobody that does not know that when you invest in yourself, you get to the right place. You get to sit at the right table. There's no one that does not know that. And I actually do feel that reason why investment might be difficult is because investment could be money. There's a lot of money most times that you have to pour out into taking the courses, going to the events and all of that. But if you want it, I mean, this is you. Tiafa is saying that she wants to become the sugar. Come on. If you want it, investing in yourself is great. It's a good thing. It's a great thing. It's worth it. Do you understand? Sometimes it might take a lot of sacrifice. Sometimes it take a lot of, oh, I can't afford this now and all that. Sometimes you just even have to, okay, this particular part that I'm going towards, they're saying their cost is $50. What I can afford is $25. For now, maybe attend the $25 one. And as you go on, before you can get to the $50 meeting, you're already learning, you're already even much more qualified to even be called into that table. I don't know if you get. Sometimes you just have to little steps, but know at the back of your mind that you are ready to invest in yourself and you are ready to get to that table no matter what it takes, positively, right? The last question we have here, it's not really a question. So to both Junaid and CFA, are there specific opportunities and programs in your field, that's project management, investment management, that you would like us to talk about? So maybe we spiked the interest of some people today towards project management and investment management. What are the opportunities or fellowships that we need to join? We know that CFA did some BM, what, and we know that she did some Yali, what, and like that. So are there fellowships that we need to join? CFA, you go first.
Okay. Opportunities, right? Just add value to yourself. Take courses, attend events, network, right? Take advantage of, in as much as you want to take advantage of maybe free courses because of your budget, try as much as possible to also take advantage of paid courses, right? Because the value you get from a paid course is absolutely different from the value you get from a free course. And the value you get from a paid event, totally different from the value you get from a free event. So try as much as possible to save up. I also understand that out there, let me talking for project management now. Out there are so many courses. I've had trainings and I spoke with some people and they say, I've been taking courses for months now, project management courses. I don't just understand. I'm not getting it. Not like they're not really getting it, but it's not giving them what they actually need to know, which is actually true. So if you're right here listening to me and probably project management is something that you've thought of and you probably already taking courses on it, but it looks like you're not getting it, you can get a mentor. So I know you asked for opportunity with me, right? But taking advantage of having a good mentor goes a long way. So it's an opportunity you can amass. I mean, I can't overemphasize the benefit I'm having from my mentors, my project management mentors. It's a whole lot, right? So I also have courses, project management courses at TFA you can also like enroll for. And if you think, okay, I'm not ready for a course now, but I don't mind reading a book. So I have like this practical book. Maybe those that follow me would see that I'm always shouting about the most practical project management framework in the world. It's true, right? Because a lot of certifications, a lot of courses just say a lot of things that does not give you like answer such that after the certifications, after those courses, you end up not knowing how to even manage the project. You know, Junaid said something like, I talked about mommy's birthday party, planning mommy's birthday party. I should not try it because so you're not going to mess the whole thing up because there's a whole lot more. Project management is a skill. It's a transferable skill, right? But it's a skill. It's a skill. It's a skill. I don't know how it's a skill. You have to be skilled to be able to like manage projects successfully. So, you know, I put a book together, an ebook that would help you manage the project from start to finish, right? What the book offers is the same thing with my course though, but what the book offers is practical steps. What to do every day when you're managing project, what to do every week when you're managing project, what to do every month. It depends on how long the project is. So it's really practical. So if you are a newbie or someone that doesn't have like lots of experience, you know, that book is like your go-to to help you if you say, oh, you can't like really afford like all the courses out there, but you want to do something, you want to be able to manage projects. Yeah, so you can get my ebook. More information on my Instagram page. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I would also post the link to our ebook to our website where you can get the ebook on my story. So look forward to seeing that. Timilehin Junaid. Are there any opportunities in your field or programs to look forward to that you'd like to talk about?
For the life of the party, I was already enjoying this. At some point, I was thinking, did I make the right decision not choosing project management? Okay, pretty much. Yeah, thank you, Faith, for all of that. I mean, you've really just cut down the talking time by half. So, because investment management is pretty much an highly knowledge driven environment, right? And it's just little, right, that you can get from group learning, right? Because your goal is to be able to find an edge that you're able to use to price in inefficiencies. So pretty much, yeah, not to bore you with so many unnecessary details. One, if you're very much interested in investment management, I'm going to mention three people. They literally have to become your idols. Yeah, literally, they have to become your idol. One is Damodaran Aswat. He's a professor at New York University Stern Business School. He teaches valuation. Go on YouTube, you'll find everything you need to know on business valuation and corporate finance, right? Yeah. And the second person is, of course, the value investor himself, Warren Buffett. Follow him, read all the letters that he has written to the shareholders so far, right? And then if you could lay your hands on certifications like CFA, CIS, well, I can. Sha.
Rest, rest. Enter into thy rest, Junaid. Rest.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So that's pretty much it. But there are two books that I'm going to recommend off the record. They are not career related at all. And these two books, literally, every single guy and person that I've gotten the opportunity to mentor, I tell them to go read these two books first. But before I mentioned that, Faith was saying something earlier, or Iremide was saying that, courses are expensive to get and all. I really do not think, I think I'm going to probably follow Faith in the fact that people are pretty much lazy. Yeah, it's just the truth. And we have to tell ourselves the truth. People are very, very, very lazy, right? And the truth about it is, if you are going to become an expert, you need to put in the work, deliberate practice, right? For example, where I work closes by 5, but for the life of it, why would you leave work by 5? How are you going to do that when your MD, the boss, is still in learning, developing himself? The earliest I've seen my boss leave work sometimes is 9. I mean, so why not just put in the work yourself to get yourself into the industry? And the truth about it is, forget it. I don't care what the macroeconomic realities are. Competence is always rewarded anywhere in the world. Always. When I was going to leave my former firm, they didn't look at the fact that, oh, it was an NYSC placement. I had a meeting with one, my line supervisor, two, the HR. It was a tug of war. What's the issue? Is it the pay? Would increase it? Why are you leaving? We'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do that. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, but you guys said there is no job, yeah? And here I am, I'm telling them I want to just leave after 6 months, and it looked like the whole life let loose at the office, right? So if you put in the work, the competence will pay out. Always, it always does, always. And really, it's not a career thing, right? Because look at one of the people that I admire so much is I can't remember her name now. She was the personal photographer of Oshibaju at some
Osinbajo.
point. Yeah, when it was in the Aso Rock, and now she's at AFDB, African Development Bank, working with Akinwumi Adesina, right? And it's just blowing your mind how much this lady has invested in photography. Trust me, I can't even imagine what her bills is going to look like if you want to get her to shoot an event for you, even if she has that time at all. Do you get? So just like God's word says that the gift of a man technically makes room for him. So you're going to apply yourself to that gift. Put in the work. That's the thing. Put in the work. I mean, you're young. I hear people say things that, okay, this is just a blooper. You can cut this out. Because it's stressful. I can't be waking up by 5. For the life of it, you are not 30. You are not 40. When would you rather wake up? Fine boy, fine girl. When would you rather wake up? Is it 9 a.m.? Yes. So really, at the early stage of your life and your career, you need to put in that work. Invest in real knowledge. Invest in real knowledge. And truth be told, is going to be big for you. So one I'd mentioned, Alfred Damodaran, who is a professor at Stern Business School, that's New York. I've mentioned Warren Buffett himself, who of course for us has become an iconic person. And then the third person in that category is going to be Peter Lynch. Peter Lynch is also a fund manager. You should really look up to him too. But the 2 books I said I was going to recommend is one, I've said it for the life of it. In fact, I have battered it on my status and I'm not about to stop. One, Deep Work. Deep Work basically just says do hard things. Do the hard work. So when people shout AI, here, everywhere. Yeah, that's the whole essence. It's going to automate some business processes. But if you focus on the hard work, the hard part of the business, AI is not going to take that. For example, AI is not going to take the part of negotiation like project management, not project managers guys do. I can't imagine AI speaking to maybe a contractor to speeding up the business process. How is it going to say that? Do you get? So you just have to ensure that you do really hard things. So one, Deep Work, it's a book by Col Newport, a professor also in the United States. He also wrote another book, so good that it can't ignore you. Trust me, it's going to blow your mind. So good that they cannot ignore you. And I can tell you for a fact, what Faith has said about companies queuing for you is not even a joke at all. It is not a joke. Do you get? So you can imagine when Faith was saying something about the person who was interviewing you was saying would definitely I could relate, yeah. Because I remember one offer like that. He was saying, so when are you going to resume with us? How long is it going to take for you to resume with us and get in? I said, maybe you guys will give me a week. He said, okay. So after the whole interview, he now went on to say, so we are going to get back to you if you successfully scale this interview. Waiting you the talk. So you put in the work here, you're going to get the rewards, really. So Deep Work, so good that it can't ignore you. Trust me, you're truly going to bless your life in no small way. And yet, invest in quality relationship. And for me, that's pretty much it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Timilehin Junaid. Thank you very much, TFA, the Alfred. It's been a wonderful time for the sake of those who kept going out, coming in, going out, coming in. I'm just going to recap. And by the way, I love the about 15 of you who joined. I love it. I love you guys so much. I'm just going to quickly recap, okay? We started with how to find your suitable career path, and they mentioned competencies. List out your competencies. What can you do? What do you love to do? Know yourself. Yeah, the money matters as well, because like we said, NGO is not what we are trying to do. It's not what we are trying to feed our family on. And we then moved on to how do you choose your career path, courses, how do you build on it after knowing what career path to choose, how do you build on it? And we mentioned courses, take up courses, mentorships, networking was emphasized a lot in this meeting. Network, and invest in yourself. Those two things were mentioned a lot in this gist. Invest in yourself, network. Invest in yourself, network. Don't mind how much it takes really. It's yourself. You deserve it. You deserve to put in into yourself, because like Faith said, to become the sugar. To become the sugar is the goal, so that they will rush you. To become the sugar is the goal. So yeah, it's been an amazing time. Add value to yourself, and transitioning is not a bad idea. But transitioning is not a bad idea. But look into what the offer is. Make sure you're taking the right decision. And yeah, I believe we've learned, even if it's the basics. I believe we've learned the basics on project management, and a little bit more on investment management, and then you've seen what these two career paths are about. And finally, we got some book recommendations from Sir Junaid. We got Deep Work and So Good That They Can't Ignore You. Please do well to read these books. Do well to read these books. It's all about you. Invest in yourself. It's your future. It's your life. And I'm a big fan of learn to understand that the future is nearer than you think, and the future consists a whole lot. Even the present consists of a whole lot more than you, your people, your family, your unborn children. And they would come to get linked to you. So many times I see myself doing some things, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want my children to have to I don't want them to have to start building. I don't want them to have to start building foundations. I want them to start from like up here, and then go like that. And that's how you generate generational wealth. Long lasting names and all that, which are important. And it starts from now. It starts from you, your choices, your decisions, really. And that's amazing. I had a good time. You say I was just journaling. I like doing that. I like to listen. I was just writing, and I love it. So I think, yes, to find a suitable career path, Faith said she went through the investigative part. Junaid mentioned he went through the reflective part, and we can do both. Investigate, what do I like? What do I like to do? What can I do? What's raining? What are the choices that we have? I'm going to be further on in the program, say maybe this second session, I'm going to be listing out to us some career choices. We have some career, latest career whatnots that we have, and you can just study about them and read them. Sometimes even where you would like it, you don't know it yet, really. It's on your search that you find it. It's on your search that you find it. So yeah, thank you very much for joining in. Now on to the fastest fingers. All the people I'm seeing here now, they are big people. I don't know if anyone would like to. I don't know if anyone would like to do it, but we've got fastest fingers.